Hey folks, so yeah, more garage sales. They're starting to come a lot quicker now, and there's more of them because the weather actually held up this weekend. Thought it was going to rain a few out, but it didn't. Um, Actually, we have a local sort of airport museum here, and it is a RCAF training airport from World War II. Most of the RAF and RCAF, well, not most, but a lot of the pilots who went over and fought in World War II actually trained here. It's in the town of Dunnville itself. It's a great location. It's not an airport anymore. They put a lot of windmills up there, I guess, to help pay for the land taxes and such. But the hangars are still there, and there is a really interesting museum that's been set up there for the base and its history. But anyways, to raise funds, they have a garage sale every year with local people donating stuff. And so I hit that first thing in the morning, and then I drove about half an hour to the next town over that was having their town-wide garage sale. And, I did okay. I actually had an amazing record find, which I'm going to go over in a sec, because I got one of my white whales, as people call them, or holy grails in terms of records. But first, we'll go over the stuff I got at the airport. Nothing huge, but some interesting things. I've gotten some really good stuff there before. I got a really nice early 1940s tether car from there once. But it's still worth going. It's kind of fun. All the stuff's laid out on tables, and there's excitement because everybody's all lined up to go in. But yeah, I picked up a few decent vintage things. Some more of these Kathy Winkle Broadhurst ironstone ware. Kathy Winkle now is fairly well recognized as, I think there's at least one full book out on all her designs. Really good late mid-century modernist designs. She did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patterns. And Broadhurst is actually one of my favorite. I actually used it for years and years, and my mom had this when I was a kid too. So it's a great set to collect. And the prices on them, if you just check eBay, have started going up and up and up, especially for some of these serving sets. I have probably at least 25 settings already, and so this will help add to some of that stuff whenever I get around to selling it. Picked up this nice, this one is just Germany, but it's, so it's probably a little later. And it has, it's just, basically your similar kind of West German pottery piece. Kind of nice, decorative. It's not the fat lava that everybody's looking for, but it is a cool little piece. A miscellaneous bag of Fisher-Price pieces. There's people in there, some of the accessories. And the accessories are actually some of the things that everybody's missing. Chairs, there's what looks like a roundabout in there. 3 or 4 little people in there. What else we get? Oh, this 1980s Papa Smurf hand puppet. It's from the 1980s, made, I think, in Korea. Let's see. There you go, made in Korea. This was kind of good. I collect some Italian pottery, and this one is an ashtray. I actually got this at Value Village during the week. So this wasn't from that, now I remember. And it's Ugo, I can never say the Italian names. Zacagnia? I don't know. I'm terrible. But yeah, I actually don't have any pieces by that guy or company. I'm never really sure which one it is. I have about 15 or 20 Italian pottery pieces now. I just love this stuff. The colors are great. They're always really bold. And really well executed too. Lots of imagination in there. Pretty much all mid-century Italian stuff is amazing. Their furniture was incredible. Their whole sense of design was just, it went from being just absolutely stunningly beautiful to really wacky. So yeah, whenever you turn over a piece of pottery and see Italy on it, it's probably worth picking up, especially if you're getting it at a thrift store or a garage sale. You probably can't go too far wrong with that. This is a nice Canadian piece. I believe it's from the 1960s, and it's just a little picture by the Laurentian Pottery. They were based out of Quebec. I don't know if we can see It's not too clear on the bottom. It's heavy glaze, but there's a stylized LP underneath all that glaze. But on this one, you actually have the sticker, which is kind of nice. It's a pretty cool little shape. It's a piece of Canadian design. And then just another optic, larger snifter glass. Possibly in poly, but it's hard to tell. But it has the nice optic effect on there too. And I have actually a larger one of these, so it would go nice as a set. So that's why I picked it up. A vintage Sony Walkman. Haven't tested it yet. This one is missing the actual little battery light out of there, so that probably makes me think it's led a harder life. So might not be able to sell it as anything other than parts, but parts Walkmans go sometimes for as much as complete working ones. So that one I'll just toss up on eBay, and honestly, that'll probably pay for everything I bought at the whole thing. And the last thing I got at the airport was this guy. Just a little kind of novelty bar light. It's not a homemade job. It's actually somebody who made it, because there's a company that made it. There's a company name there, and it's got a sticker on it, 1980, and then they've scratched that out and put 81 on it again. But it's, for your little home bar. I think, see, when I was a kid in the 70s, like every house had their home bar, and it was filled with tchotchkes and all kinds of little kitschy stuff. And this is straight out of that. Like, this would be, I was shocked to see it was 1980s, because I figured this was 1970s for sure. But yeah, somebody want that for the bar. Now, I didn't get, as I said, too much in the way of actual stuff. There's a lot of smalls. When I was looking this weekend, there was no furniture. It wasn't, there wasn't a ton of good stuff vintage-wise. It was almost all brand new and modern pieces, which I don't really, bother with too much. I just don't have a passion for it, for flipping things, new things like that. For me, it's just the hunt of finding vintage items. And for me specifically, well, as you can tell, the store is packed with records. But I have a pretty massive record collection, and so I'm out there hunting for myself. And if I didn't already have this record right here, I would have lost my mind, because it is a pretty hard, difficult record find. It's not like a holy grail record, that's up in the thousands or anything like that. But it is probably around $100 record, maybe not in this condition. It's hard to say. Yeah, it probably is. It is Bob Marley. Well, it's actually just the Wailers, but it's Bob Marley and the Wailers. It's the Catch a Fire. It's the Zippo cover. Now, like the other one that I have, and I don't think I've seen one in person, the little hinge down here on these guys always goes. So unfortunately, it's gone on this one. So it is slightly detached. That takes away from it a little bit, but not that much. And you open it up, and it looks like a Zippo lighter. Yeah, so I was pretty excited to get that. These all came, basically, there were two people selling records, that most of the really, really good ones came from one collection there. And there you can see the back. Oops, I got the thing on the outside there, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Another really great one here is actually this Canadian pressing of the Yardbirds having a rave up. Tougher one to find. And again, it's part of the Capital 6000 series, which was a series of Canadian releases. And usually they were collections of singles, in a lot of cases that were put together from UK singles, with unique cover art in many cases. And so they were pretty much Canadian only releases. And so they're kind of sought after around the world. Lots of people kind of, want to fill, for the completists of bands, want to get the Capital 6000 versions of it. And then there are people who just collect all the Capital 6000 releases. And there's lots of really good ones in there. So and that was cool. And then the rest of the stuff is, there's some interesting things like Dr. Musical, kind of fusion prog. That one's upside down. Trouble Boys, which is a local, I think, Hamilton band. City Boy, Zeppelin, Another Yardbirds. This is the American Greatest Hits package. Still, you know, a cool one. So James Brown, Neil Young After the Gold Rush. Nice thing about this one is it still had, because 4 out of 5 of them don't. Oops. There you go. I guess I must have put it somewhere. There it is. Ha. Still had the lyric sheet fold-out poster in it, which is, like I said, about for every 5 that I get of these things, maybe one of them will have the lyrics poster in there. So let's see. Yeah, that's it there. It folds up just in there, and all the handwritten lyrics by Neil back in the day. Kind of cool stuff. I love inserts. I love posters. I love all kinds of things like that. I collect them. I collect records I don't even like that just have really cool posters and inserts. But you can see it. There's a lot of prog in here. Some pop in there too. Just a lot of it was stuff that, like Dr. Hook and things like that, that, you know, are bread and butter for the store. This one's kind of cool. It's actually Gentle Giant, and a good prog band. It's I think it's a second pressing on the Vertigo. The first was a Vertigo Swirl, but even still nice to pick up. And there's things like Floyd, the Clockwork Orange soundtrack, OMD. Yeah, so over the next couple of days I'll clean these up, and they'll probably end up going out in the store. This one I got to do a comparison to see how it compares with mine, but actually the record on this record is just really clean. And the cover's not terrible, other than having the unfortunate break at the corner there. But that's it, just a short and sweet one this week. Yeah, if you guys could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. My subscription's actually been going up, and all kinds of different indicators, like data indicators, have been going up, which I'm really pleased with. So thank you very much for the support. And, you know, we'll hit some more thrift stores this week, and then another weekend of garage sales. And hopefully we can get some more really good records next week. All right, y'all. Hope you have a good week. Bye.